All right, you don't want to talk about the Zelda mobile game that was announced. All right.
I I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do that.
I'm thinking for the Zelda mobile game that was announced with details coming in 2000. It's going to come out in 2018. I think they can go in a couple of different directions, but I think you're going to get probably something closer to like the Hyrule Tower Defense game. You know, it's going to be like fend off the waves of moblins and you know Octoroks and Tektites and you know something like that where it's going to build off a like what you know a popular genre that already exists on mobile, but we'll just infuse it with like Legend of Zelda themes and characters, and I think that's probably the safest way to go. And it'll sell 1 billion. Like people will buy it just because it's Legend of Zelda. You know, I think it'll be fine.
Sure. And they did have two, fairly successful portable Zeldas that were based on touch. I actually never played them, so I can't say much about them. But it's not like they can't do it. I really don't know how it's gonna make that transition effectively. I think the announced Animal Crossing game is something that's going to be far more at home on mobile.
Well, sure, because you have already like a genre that's semi-connected to that, you know, of games. So
Right.
it's almost like it was stolen from Animal Crossing. Now they're going to retrieve it. You know, they're you know like how many people used to play like fucking Farmville on Facebook? Is that still a thing? Farmville?
I have no idea, but I mean, yeah, I remember all that shit.
But you see what I mean? It's like okay, Nintendo wants back in. They want to reclaim the throne of that.
Give Animal Crossing a bit more credit than that, but yeah, I mean, obviously, it would appear to it'll appeal to everyone who those types of games appealed to in the first place, including those who may not have been around to play them and the first time around.
So that's on target for this fiscal year, which means before end of March 2018 that'll come out, and then you're probably gonna get Zelda later in the year. So that'll be interesting. Originally it was supposed to be fall 2016 Animal Crossing, so wow they pushed it back a while. Okay, so yeah I think you're gonna have the 2 a year. Nintendo will have to be careful, obviously very careful, but they're not gonna do something that they could do on a console on a freaking mobile phone. They're not going to do that. Like it's not like anything they put out. It's not like the Zelda game they're going to put out on the iPhone is gonna cannibalize Breath of the Wild sales. You know, it's just not. It's different markets. It's
right.
not. They're not going to be dumb enough to do that.
I could see them doing something more full-featured and interesting, say with Animal Crossing, like a more full-featured, more interesting. This is what I predict for the Animal Crossing one. They announced an Animal Crossing at E3 or at some point this year. The Animal Crossing app is timed to come out somewhere alongside it. It's probably like a more full-featured Mitomo, and it ties in with the game so that it gives people more of a reason to go back to the iPhone game. I would imagine that the console game will be the fleshed-out game without in-app purchases, and then I imagine that the app will let you do stupid things, and of course there'll probably be in-app purchases in that. I bet they'll make it tie in. I think if Nintendo's smart, they'll find a way to make their mobile releases tie in to not all, but some of their console games, because I think that'll keep people coming back. Their games have had really strong mobile launches, but not very strong play retention. If you look at stuff like Mitomo, Super Mario Run, and Pokemon Go is probably the one that's still going the strongest. There's still dedicated players, not nearly as many as there were. But the other two, people played for, a month and then stopped using completely.
Well, Super Mario Run has had a limited shelf life, right? So once you complete all the worlds, yes, you can do the what is it, the Toad Race, whatever the hell it's called. But that's really limited, and they even said that we're not going to come out with any DLC for that from the start. So it was what it was: one package, $10, and that's it. What did it gross? I think it only grossed 175 million Super Mario Run overall to this point, which is not that much for the the most recognizable game mascot.
Right. And I think that's the problem. They could have kept it going if it had sold. I don't know. I'm losing my train of thought here. That could have been handled, but it didn't sell well enough, and that's why I didn't get the DLC. They could have kept that game going. There just wasn't, I don't think, enough interest. Like I said, they need to find a way to hold people's interest, and I think tying those games in somehow to releases would potentially make people more interested. And no, I don't know how they would have tied, Super Mario Run into anything, but now they have a chance going forward with a new system that they can kind of time these to tie in with certain releases and maybe make them, more worthwhile for people to go back to.
I have a thought. What do you think they'll tie in the Legend of Zelda app purchase to unlock something in Breath of the Wild? You think they'll do something like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can unlock things in the main game or unlock things in the mobile game. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or they just give you like a little outfit and a couple of apples and a sword. They'll treat it like an amiibo, which is another topic that's out there. Like they might do something like that. Well, you'll just sync it up to your Nintendo account like you do with Super Mario Run. They'll be like, oh, when you open the game up, maybe there'll be a little mini quest for you to do. If the game
a mini quest, or you'll get a special item, or when you link it up, you'll get a few coins or some bullshit in the mobile app. But I mean, even that sort of little bit of incentive would keep people going back if it was something they could do daily, like, say, use their amiibos in Zelda.
Yeah, because if they do an amiibo price, it's like $10, right? But people can say, like, okay, well, I'm getting a feature like that, but then again, I can actually play a game on top of that, so it's more value if Nintendo wants to keep with this sort of $9.99 app price. So from that perspective, it's almost like a win-win. It's almost like, okay, maybe it's good they established that price early on with Super Mario Run, so they'll have their $20 DLC, but then you have a $10, maybe it could be mini DLC alongside an actual game you can play while you're on the crapper.